let's talk about the belle of the ball.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
See my vest.
And that is Drake Maye, who, you know, really came out looking probably the best interviewer of this whole group here at the quarterback spot, at least. Um, the scouting team notes they gave on him said legacy kid, little looser but similar personality to DJ. Mental is going to grade out high. They weren't kidding when they said that. And this is part of why I wanted to put this into like the segments based on the player. Because when he came up during the actual interview, I wasn't thinking back to these scout notes. And the key thing here is mental is going to grade out high. Because that's 100% what you saw there. So Drake Maye is asked to repeat a play, much like they did with Jaden Daniels, but he did it no problem. In fact, he gave, there's a little topic of verbiage that they use being slightly different to what he's used to at that point, but he still had no problem understanding what was going on with the play and repeating it word for word, no issues whatsoever. They talk about basically giving their explanations on the term, and Daboll was like, yeah, there you go. Yep, that's it. Like there was all agreement with that kind of stuff.
All he says, like, this is what we call over here. Like, hey, same thing.
Yeah, like there was no issues he had whatsoever with that, recall that he had on that play. Then they end up going a back and forth conversation at this point that just seemed to be a great conversation between two football minds. Listen, Rob and I are goofballs. We are not the guys who sit there and talk about the exact verbiage on football plays and stuff like that. We're the guys who drink a lot of beer and watch a lot of football.
Yeah, it's hard for me to remember all the algorithms of X, Y, F, and C, and who's going to switch over to what and call your audibles, and then talk about your offensive line. It's no.
Yeah, but I'm saying like we're the guys.
I'll have 11 beers instead of having 11 players on the field.
Like I'll freely admit it. Like you could spill off a whole bunch of stuff that sounds fancy and impress us, and that's what happened in this segment. But you could genuinely see that Daboll enjoyed that conversation. And you're not going to
see that man smile in 3 years.
Yes. Like there was a plate of chicken wings in front of him, he acted like.
Yeah.
But like you could tell he enjoyed it. And the rumors were back then that this is who they wanted in this draft was Drake Maye. They didn't think they'd have a chance at in hell of getting Caleb Williams, so that was kind of thrown out immediately. But Drake Maye was the guy they supposedly had wanted, according to all the rumors. And you can see why after this interview. But I will remind people that is part of it. And not everybody that has a great interview is going to be a great player automatically. Because I think, at least from what I'm seeing in Giants land and Giants Twitter and social media and all, people are like, oh my God, this kid's going to be so good. Look at this. No, there are plenty of people who are extremely smart and very good at football knowledge, football terms, football reading plays at that point, the different aspects like that, and don't necessarily translate on the field. There are guys who become coaches that were backup quarterbacks their whole life. You don't think those guys could have that kind of impressive interview?
100%. Like, I mean, you alluded to Chad Henton before.
Yeah.
Dude blew out interviews. Seemed like he had so much talent, which, I mean, he did, but was it NFL talent?
Didn't have the arm strength.
No, not at all. Like, it was a bomb to him was 22 yards.
It's like a pool noodle.
Does that make him an NFL? No. But his football IQ was some of the best out there.
Yep.
So, like, a guy like that going to a coaching staff, like, becomes one of the best coaches in the NFL. It could be, possibly. Like, let's talk about some of these coaches out there. Like, how great were they at football? Because obviously they had a football career to give them a staff.
And that's not to say Drake Maye won't make it either. It's just same as we talked about with Jaden Daniels. I don't want us to change our entire opinion on a 4 or 5 minute edited segment. Like, that would be ridiculous. I still think Drake Maye has some potential, but I still think he's got an upward battle because of the situation he's coming from at UNC. He didn't face the top, teams at that point. We've talked about some of the ridiculous teams he faced, and he didn't blow it out of the water. So could he be something this week? He's got a good mind, obviously. We now know that for sure. But he's still the same player he was when we evaluated him back in, February, March at that point. So we'll see. It just solidifies why he was so liked at that point there by Daboll and all. But there's still more to the equation than just the meetings.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.